If you're a plumber and you know you're losing sales because you're not answering the phone each time it rings, I'm going to show you right now how you can fix that with AI that can recognize existing customers, it can ask follow-up questions, and it sends everything over, images included, into a single email for you to look over. Let me show you how it does that.
Hello, Harry. This is Anthony AI from Flowright Plumbing. I see you're back. How can I assist you today?
Hi, I just got an issue with my boiler. It's just the hot water doesn't really seem to be working much anymore.
Okay, so it's a boiler issue with the hot water not working well. Can you tell me, is your boiler a combination system or heat-only type? Or if you're not sure, just let me know.
It's a combination boiler.
Got it, a combination boiler. Are you at the same address as before at 14A Brixton Road, London SW96BU?
Yeah, correct. That's the one.
All right. Roughly how old is your combination boiler, Harry?
It's probably getting on 2 years now.
Okay. Is the boiler not heating water at all, making any noises or showing any error codes?
Yeah, it's got an error code on it. Something like ER11.
Thanks for that. ER11 error code, understood. If you decide to book after the quote, do you have a preferred date and time, Harry?
Probably just early next week, please.
I've just sent you a text message with a link you can use to upload photos of your boiler and the error code display. Once you've uploaded the photos, the plumber should have everything they need to get back to you with a quote. I'll leave you now to do that. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for your help.
All right, I'll leave you to upload the photos now. The plumber will be in touch once they've reviewed everything. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye. Right, so now we can see this text that's come through, and I'll now open that form, and I'll show you now on the screen what happens when I open it. So we've set it up with view form, so now that I can enter let's start, we can customize this to be any form we like. But as you can see now, it's actually already inputted in my existing phone number, so I don't have to enter that again. Then the email, so that as a caller I can get an email back with a quote. This is the email I'll be using, so I'll put that in now. And now it's asking me to upload the images. So let's, just for this demo, I'm going to take a picture of my boiler, which looks like a little green alien from Star Wars. Right, and submit that. Just wait for that to upload. Now, the moment I hit submit, you can even got a preview of the image. It's telling me it's all submitted. Any information we can provide here just to say, look, it will take some time for the plumber to respond. We can put maybe a time of day that we usually expect to respond by, 1 to 2 days, whatever's ideal. And now we'll look out and we'll see now an email has already come through. Now, this is me as if I was the plumber. So I can open that email. It's even got who the request is from in the title, so I know I can easily see them at a glance. It's got all my existing information, and included in that email is the image that I just attached. So now I can have a summary of everything that was covered in the call. As a plumber, I can go and look at the image and then try and make a rough quote. If I've got any further questions, I've got the email right there to respond back with, and that's the email we can use to get back in contact, or if I prefer, we can phone them back up. Right, well, that's everything you need to know. We've got a full email up and running. If we've not met before and you don't know who I am, I'm Harry Moore, and within the past 3 years, I've been building software solutions, including for businesses in London to major global brands. And in 2025, that involved founding my own business, Voice AI, and since worked alongside some of the leaders in this space. If seeing Voice AI in action has sparked any ideas for how you might want to incorporate it into your business, use the link down below to book a free discovery call where we can help you decide if it's right for you and where it's best fit for your business. Spots are limited to 3 a video, so if you see a slot going, make sure you claim it before it's gone. One of the biggest benefits of this is now you've got something that's running for your business 24/7 that you don't have to manage. And additionally, it's saving you time. But where you see the biggest savings is in the number of calls that you would have otherwise missed that are now being captured. So we can actually do a calculation for this, but to understand really why the importance of missed calls are, is to first understand about your buyer process. As a client, if I was to go to a plumber, I'd go for my first ideal plumber. If they don't pick up, then I'll be using a site like Check a Trade, putting in my address, and then going through the list of plumbers that are in my area. So basically calling different plumbers until the first one picks up and can solve my issue. If not, I go on to the next one. And yes, you might be good at trying to call back within a space of a few minutes, but there's a good chance, and you'll know this from your personal experience, that a lot of those people may have already had a phone picked up by another plumber and had their issues dealt with. So if you can have a service that is always running and always able to pick up, then they never go through this process of calling every single plumber. They know immediately they'll get answered by your service and then have their problems dealt with, so they can leave it for the time being and know a plumber's going to get back to them. Now, the benefits of that to you as a plumber is that now you stop missing your calls. And obviously you get the other benefits of 24/7 service and not having to answer your calls as much when you're in the middle of a job. But if you want to know the actual return on investment you get from something like this, then you've got to look into how much your customers are worth to you. So we'll go for this option here. This is one of my calculators I like to go through. And something like this gives you an insight into what your potential savings could be, or in this case, extra additional revenue you can get just by making sure that you actually answer the phone to more of your clients. So we're just going to be conservative here with our options. We're going to go for 10 missed calls a week. If you're getting lots of calls and you're busy, you might get more than this. We're just going to say now that let's go for 70% of those are real jobs. And the average job value, again on the conservative side, is about 200 Great British pounds. And we're using a service where 100% of the calls are being picked up with AI. Of course, we can have an AI that actually routes to you if it's an emergency or something that needs a much more immediate attention. The AI will be able to understand that and immediately pass through to you anyway. But this is really making sure that every call is going to be going through to the AI. Now that means we know that the number of real jobs missed a week are 7. That's 1 a day of extra bookings that you would otherwise have missed by missing those calls. How much does that actually mean to you? Well, if you've got an average job value of £200, then you're effectively leaving on the cards £5,600 a month in additional revenue that you otherwise would have got. And then what will be the cost? Well, let's just, for now, ignore the setup fee and actually look at what the actual AI agent would cost. Well, we know this is about 9p per minute of use time. So this gives us an estimate cost of what the AI usage would be. And really what makes this numbers pretty special is instead of having to cover a salary for someone to operate your phones, if you were getting enough calls through, this is the alternative price. You're now competing with £297 a month for every single phone call of yours being answered by an AI assistant. And you're not getting any of the downsides, because if a person wants to speak to a plumber like yourself, they can still be routed to you. But most people find that if they want a quote and they want to get to an answer quicker, they know that the moment they get picked up by an AI system, it's going to ask them all the questions they need, and then they know from then on their problem is going to be resolved and a plumber's going to get back to them. And now what's crazy is that when you look at this over the span of a year, this means that plumbers that are implementing a system like this could get a minimum of £63,000 of additional revenue once you factor in the £300 of your AI usage costs. And of course, this is going to vary depending on how many calls you get and how long those calls go on for. And typically these calls are very short because, like ChatGPT, the AI is very quick at getting down to the solution and being able to continue the conversation to where to go next and how to solve that. So really, it becomes a no-brainer. If you're getting a lot of missed calls, then you're leaving a lot of potential revenue on the cards. And of course, this could be a lot of extra work. Well, with the amount of savings you can get from something like this of additional revenue, that's when you can suddenly start thinking about hiring more plumbers within your team to be able to cope with the extra amount of work you're getting, and slowly move away from working necessarily in your business full time and having more time to spend on your business and go on the holidays you need, whilst knowing that you've got plumbers working for you, calls being answered for them without you having to be there. So hopefully you can see from this why a system like this is becoming a no-brainer for plumbers.